step into the mysterious world of the Djinn and the desert, where ancient legends come alive beneath endless sands. In this video, we explore the origins, powers, and secrets of the elusive Djinn, supernatural beings who have fascinated Middle Eastern cultures for centuries. From haunting desert tales to magical encounters, discover how these spirits shape myths, influence folklore, and inspire awe across generations. Whether friend or foe, the Djinn remain an enduring symbol of mystery and power in the vast desert landscape. Join us on this journey into a realm where reality and legend blur beneath the scorching sun. The desert has long been a place of mystery, vastness, and untamed power. It is a land where life and death coexist in a fragile balance beneath a scorching sun and beneath endless skies. Across centuries and cultures, the desert has inspired countless stories of supernatural beings, spirits, and divine forces. Among these entities, few have captured the imagination quite like the Djinn, enigmatic creatures who dwell in the desert shadows, straddling the line between myth and reality. In this exploration, we will delve into the origins and nature of the Djinn, their deep connection to the desert environment, and how their presence has shaped folklore, culture, and spirituality across the Middle East and beyond. What are the Djinn? The word Djinn, also spelled jinn or genie, comes from the Arabic root jinn, which means to hide or to conceal. This etymology reflects the Djinn's elusive and hidden nature. According to Islamic theology and Arab folklore, Djinn are supernatural beings created by God from smokeless fire, an element distinct from the earthly origin of humans, clay, and angels, light. Unlike angels who are considered purely good and obedient, Djinn possess free will, meaning they can be good, evil, or neutral. This moral ambiguity makes them fascinating characters in mythology. They can bless, protect, or curse, trick or help humans, and live in a parallel realm that often intersects with the human world. Origins in religious texts and mythology. The Djinn are mentioned in the Quran, Islam's holy book, as beings created before humans. Surah Al-Jinn chapter 72 is devoted entirely to them, describing their nature and ability to listen to and be influenced by the human world. In pre-Islamic Arabian culture, belief in spirits and nature beings was widespread. The desert, with its vast emptiness, extreme conditions, and deadly silence, was thought to be the perfect home for these hidden creatures. Bedouin tribes and desert dwellers passed down stories of Djinn as powerful spirits inhabiting caves, ruins, wells, and deserts, places where humans dared not linger. The Djinn were believed to influence fate, weather, and fortune, often requiring rituals, offerings, or protective charms to keep them at bay or earn their favor. The desert as the Djinn's realm. The desert itself is not just a backdrop, but an active character in Djinn mythology. Its harsh, unforgiving landscape mirrors the Djinn's dual nature, both beautiful and dangerous, mysterious and merciless. Isolation and mystery. The desert's vastness and solitude make it a perfect hiding place for beings invisible to humans. Endless dunes, rocky outcrops, and ancient ruins create a labyrinth where spirits can roam unseen. Travelers who vanish in the desert were sometimes explained as taken by the Djinn, reinforcing their role as guardians of the unknown. Elemental connection. The Djinn's elemental origin from smokeless fire resonates deeply with the desert's extremes, blazing sun by day, biting cold by night, and sandstorms that whip like fierce spirits across the land. Fire itself is a symbol of transformation, danger, and illumination, just as the desert transforms those who cross it. Types and characteristics of Djinn. Djinn come in many forms and personalities, often shaped by local beliefs and stories. Marid. Often depicted as the most powerful type of Djinn, Marids are associated with the sea and water, but are also connected to grandeur and arrogance. They are known for granting wishes, but can be dangerous if angered. Ifrit. Fiery and formidable, Ifrit are often portrayed as malevolent spirits of the underworld. They embody rebellion and wrath, capable of great destruction. Ghoul, a desert-dwelling shapeshifter, often linked to graveyards and dark places. The ghoul can take animal or human form and is associated with trickery and malevolence. Kareen, a personal spirit or companion that accompanies every human, sometimes whispering evil thoughts or protecting a person. Djinn are also believed to possess shape-shifting abilities. They can appear as humans, animals, often snakes or dogs, or even as elements like smoke or fire. This ability to shift form underscores their mysterious, elusive nature. Djinn in folklore and popular culture. Stories of Djinn have permeated Middle Eastern literature, art, and popular imagination for centuries. Classic tales. The famous collection 1001 Nights, Arabian Nights, includes numerous stories involving Djinn, from powerful genie figures granting wishes to cunning tricksters. These tales often reflect moral lessons about greed, humility, and respect for the supernatural. Folk practices. In many rural and desert communities, rituals to protect against or summon Djinn persist today. Amulets, prayers, and talismans are used to ward off malevolent spirits or seek help. Traditional healers might invoke Djinn to diagnose and cure illnesses believed to be caused by spirit possession. Modern interpretations. In contemporary culture, the Djinn appear in novels, movies, and TV shows worldwide, often simplified as genies who grant 3 wishes. While entertaining, these portrayals sometimes strip away the deeper cultural and spiritual significance of the Djinn and their desert origins. The desert's role in shaping Djinn belief. The desert is more than just a physical environment. It is a spiritual landscape that shapes human understanding of the unseen world. The isolation and harshness of desert life foster a worldview where the boundaries between natural and supernatural blur. Survival and respect. In desert cultures, respect for unseen forces like the Djinn is part of a survival mindset. The desert is unpredictable and dangerous. Acknowledging spirits serves as a way to maintain humility and caution. Many desert dwellers avoid certain places at night or perform protective rituals, reinforcing social cohesion and respect for tradition. Symbolism of the desert journey. The desert is often a metaphor for spiritual testing and transformation. Crossing the desert can symbolize a journey through hardship toward enlightenment or revelation, echoing the Djinn's role as liminal beings who exist between worlds. Djinn and human interaction. Stories abound of humans encountering Djinn in the desert, sometimes forming complex relationships, friendship, enmity, or alliance. Possession and healing. Some traditions hold that Djinn can possess humans, causing illness or madness. Shamans or healers may perform exorcisms or rituals to expel the spirit. Pacts and deals. Folklore also tells of individuals who bargain with Djinn for power, wealth, or knowledge. Such bargains often come with a price, warning of the dangers of dealing with forces beyond human control. Protection and guidance. Some Djinn are believed to protect travelers or tribes, guiding them safely through the desert or helping in times of crisis. The enduring legacy of Djinn in the desert. The Djinn remain a powerful symbol of the desert's mystery and the human imagination's capacity to weave stories that explain the unknown. They embody the tension between the seen and unseen, the known and unknowable. Today, as modernity spreads and deserts change, the Djinn stories continue to evolve, retold in new media, studied in anthropology and theology, and practiced in cultural rituals. They remind us of a time when the desert was a vast, living entity filled with spirits that could be friends or foes, protectors or tricksters. Between reality and myth, the Djinn and the desert. The desert and the Djinn share an ancient, almost inseparable bond, one that moves fluidly between the tangible and the intangible, the natural and the supernatural, reality and myth. This pairing captures a profound human experience, confronting the elemental forces of nature alongside the ethereal mysteries of spirit and belief. To truly understand the Djinn, one must explore how they emerge from the desert landscape, how they embody both fear and hope, and how they remain living symbols across centuries and cultures. This exploration delves into the layered meanings and enduring power of the Djinn-desert relationship, revealing a timeless dance where the harshness of nature meets the depths of human imagination. The desert, more than just a landscape. Before we examine the Djinn, it's important to understand the desert as more than a barren wasteland. The desert is a multifaceted environment, one that embodies extremes of heat and cold, life and death, solitude and danger. It is a place where survival is a constant struggle and where the natural world expresses its rawest power. The desert's elemental nature. The desert is elemental. Its sand, wind, sun, and silence combine to create a landscape that is both mesmerizing and merciless. In many cultures, elements such as fire, air, earth, and water carry spiritual significance, and the desert distills these to their extremes. The blistering sun is a relentless fire. The shifting dunes are living earth. The dry wind is an invisible spirit whispering secrets. This elemental force commands respect and inspires awe. The desert does not simply exist. It lives and breathes as a powerful presence that shapes all who enter it. The desert as a spiritual space. For millennia, deserts have been places of spiritual significance. They are often portrayed as settings for transformation, revelation, and encounter with the divine. From the biblical stories of prophets wandering the wilderness to the meditations of Sufi mystics, the desert is a liminal zone between life and death, between the mundane and the sacred. Its vast emptiness allows space for reflection and the confrontation of one's inner self. But it also invites the presence of spirits, guardians, and mysterious beings, among them the Djinn. Who are the Djinn? The Djinn are supernatural beings deeply rooted in Middle Eastern mythology and Islamic theology. Created from smokeless fire, they occupy a realm unseen by most humans, but exist parallel to our own world. Origins and nature. The Quran introduces the Djinn as creatures with free will, able to choose between good and evil. This moral freedom sets them apart from angels and connects them to human-like qualities. Djinn can be protective, mischievous, malevolent, or benign. Their elemental nature, fire, symbolizes both illumination and destruction. Fire gives life warmth and energy, but can also consume and destroy. Djinn as shapeshifters and spirits. Djinn are believed to have shape-shifting abilities. They can appear as animals, humans, or even elements like smoke and wind. This fluidity blurs boundaries, making the Djinn enigmatic and unpredictable. The desert, with its ever-shifting sands and invisible winds, mirrors this elusive quality perfectly. Both the Djinn and the desert evade firm definition, resisting human attempts to fully comprehend or control them. The Djinn and the desert, a symbiotic relationship. The connection between Djinn and the desert is not merely symbolic, but deeply woven into cultural perceptions and experiences. The desert as the Djinn's home. In folklore, the desert is the natural habitat of the Djinn. Its isolation provides a perfect refuge for these spirits, hidden from human eyes. The harshness of the desert parallels the Djinn's powerful and sometimes dangerous nature. Ancient ruins, caves, and wells in the desert are often believed to be gateways or dwellings of the Djinn. These places evoke a sense of mystery and caution, reinforcing the idea that the desert is alive with unseen forces. Desert phenomena and Djinn activity. Natural desert phenomena, mirages, sudden sandstorms, strange sounds in the night, are often attributed to the presence or actions of Djinn. These unexplained events strengthen the belief in the Djinn's reality, blurring the line between natural and supernatural causes. Travelers' tales of encounters with mysterious figures or inexplicable experiences in the desert contribute to the lore, adding layers of meaning and fear. Between reality and myth, human perception and storytelling. The Djinn-desert relationship sits squarely at the intersection of reality and myth. Humans have always sought to explain the unknown, and in the desert, where human control is minimal, myth becomes a powerful tool for understanding. Myth as explanation. In harsh environments, myths serve practical and psychological purposes. They explain dangers, provide moral lessons, and offer frameworks for survival. Djinn stories warn travelers of perilous places, teach respect for nature, and caution against hubris. These myths also help communities cope with the isolation and unpredictability of desert life, giving shape to fears and hopes. The role of oral tradition. Much of the Djinn lore has been preserved and transmitted orally, passed from generation to generation by storytellers, poets, and elders. This oral tradition keeps the stories alive, adapting them to new contexts while maintaining core themes. The fluidity of oral storytelling echoes the shifting sands of the desert and the elusive nature of the Djinn themselves. The Djinn as symbols, fear, hope, and the human condition. Beyond their literal role in folklore, Djinn symbolize broader human experiences and emotions, especially when paired with the desert. Embodiments of fear and danger. The desert is dangerous, extreme heat, dehydration, wild animals, and the risk of getting lost. Djinn personify these dangers, embodying the unpredictable forces that threaten survival. Djinn myths externalize fear, making it tangible and thus, in some ways, controllable. Rituals and charms meant to ward off Djinn give people a sense of agency in a hostile environment. Symbols of mystery and hope. At the same time, Djinn represent the mysterious and magical possibilities of the world. Their powers can be harnessed for good or evil, reflecting the dual nature of existence. The desert, with its vast horizons and dramatic beauty, inspires hope, spiritual insight, and transformation. Djinn stories often contain lessons about respect, humility, and the consequences of one's actions, offering guidance and hope amidst hardship. Cultural and religious significance. Djinn are more than mythic figures. They occupy an important place in cultural and religious contexts, especially within Islam. Islamic theology and the Djinn. In Islam, the Djinn are recognized as a created species with responsibilities and moral accountability. They, like humans, will face judgment. This theological framing gives Djinn stories a moral dimension, reminding believers of the unseen realities around them and the importance of righteous conduct. Rituals and practices. In many Muslim communities, belief in Djinn influences daily life. People use prayers, Quranic verses, and amulets to protect themselves from harm. Traditional healers may perform exorcisms to rid individuals of Djinn possession. These practices show the ongoing, living relationship between humans and the spirit world, a dynamic interaction rather than a static myth. The Djinn and the desert in modern context. Despite modernity and scientific understanding, the Djinn and the desert remain potent symbols in contemporary culture, literature, and media. Djinn appear in novels, films, and TV shows worldwide, often adapted, but retaining core traits of mystery and power. While some portrayals simplify them as wish-granting genies, others explore their complex origins and cultural significance. Cultural identity and heritage. For many Middle Eastern and North African communities, Djinn stories are a vital part of cultural heritage. They connect people to their history, language, and beliefs, reinforcing identity in a rapidly changing world. The desert's changing face. The desert itself is also evolving due to climate change, urbanization, and technology. Yet, its symbolic power endures. It remains a place of both literal and metaphorical journeys, challenging, shaping, and inspiring those who encounter it. The timeless dance, elemental and ethereal. At the heart of the Djinn Desert connection is a dance between the elemental and the ethereal. The desert is elemental, earth, wind, fire, and water, distilled into a raw environment that tests physical endurance and mental resilience. The Djinn are ethereal, spiritual beings who embody the unseen forces that influence the world and human destiny. Together, they remind us that life exists not only in the material world, but also in the realms of spirit and imagination. This duality speaks to a universal human truth. We live between the tangible and the mysterious, the known and the unknowable, between reality and myth. The Djinn and the desert form an enduring pairing that transcends time and culture. Whether seen as literal beings, symbolic forces, or metaphors for the challenges of life, they continue to captivate the human mind. In the desert's shifting sands and scorching winds, the Djinn emerge as reflections of nature's power and the human spirit's quest for meaning. They invite us to explore the space where reality meets myth, where the elemental dances with the ethereal, and where fear and hope intertwine beneath an endless sky. This timeless relationship challenges us to embrace the unknown, respect the forces beyond our control, and find wonder in the mysteries that lie just beyond the horizon. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the Djinn and the desert. We've uncovered tales of mystery, magic, and ancient power hidden beneath the sands. If you enjoyed exploring these legendary spirits and their desert realm, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an adventure into the unknown. Share your thoughts or any Djinn stories you know in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Until next time, keep your curiosity alive and remember, sometimes the greatest mysteries lie just beyond the horizon. Stay safe and see you in the next video.